Everybody, hope everybody had a good night or day wherever you may live. Hope everybody's making some good trades this week. Had a pretty good week so far. We got there was New Zealand news last night. That moved the market. Back to where it was. I'll show you right here. New Zealand says there's where the news came out on the Euro New Zealand. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Going on 11 hours later, it is not taking out the low or the high of that candle. And pound New Zealand, that's the news right there. Now the pound New Zealand did take it out. Euro New Zealand didn't take it out. The pound dollar made a move up during Europe last night and didn't give you a chance to get in. Looking for a pullback to get in. If it can come back down in here somewhere, that'd be the opportunity. It may or may not happen. So we'll see. For those of you that was in the dollar yen, I'd been telling everybody that the Japanese bank was going to step in with a close on a daily basis over 150. Well, they actually went over 150 yesterday, and then they slammed it down to over 300 points. They slammed it down, but it's almost come back to where it's retraced that whole push down. So they're liable to step in again at any time. So be careful if you're long, because I was short and had been for about a month and a half, I guess. As it was going up, started at 147s, bought in those, sold in the 148s, sold in the 149s, and got all of that back in that one swift, and made pretty good money just on those. So we're going to go through these. Let's see, that's the 1 hour pound dollar. Can't do anything. It needs to retrace back down in here for us to get in. If it continues up, we can't do anything, but it is up to that. So we'll see what that does. The 1 hour, that was the 1 hour. The 4 hours made a 4 hour buy signal. That's still got 54 minutes, so it could push down into this candle and give us a chance to get in. That's what we're hoping, or it could run away and we have to look for a different opportunity. So on that one, yeah, a little push down in there would be great to get in if it could, but it may just turn and run up. The Aussie dollar 1 hour, there was the buy opportunity. There was your opportunity to get in last night, and it's pushed up from there. So let's see what that low is. 62.86 basically, and it's been up to 63.33. So that's almost 50 pips. See, 40 is the limit, so you'd have been off. Half would have been taken off already, and then you'd still be in the trade. You'd be moving your stop up from there to right there, and if it pushes up, then you're going to move it to right there. But you would have already made money, wouldn't have to look for another trade because you're already in the trade on the second half. That's the Aussie dollar. The Euro CAD has pushed up higher. On the 1 hour, and it's now made a sell signal, so we'll keep an eye on that for a possible sell on the Euro CAD 1 hour. The CAD yen, it poked down to, that was the Japanese stepping in, driving down the CAD. So those of you that were long on the CAD yen, if you were, you got crushed. Hold on this second. I'm gonna cut this light out. Open these windows up. That's too much light. Whoop. Need a little bit more light. So here we go. So that's better. So like I said, on the CAD yen, that spiked down. It's gone sideways. Nothing to do there. The yen, same thing. That was yesterday's drawdown, gone nowhere. Pound Aussies, it's made a sell. There was one opportunity, two opportunities to get in short, low risk trades. I'll show you the highs. 192.02. That high is 191.95. Basically, it's a seven pips plus the spread, so that's $10 risk. You got in right there. Of course, I hadn't gone anywhere yet. But that's all you're risking. Pound CAD, it made a 1 up. Pound news, it's made a 1 hour sell. If there's going to be a buy today, we need it somewhere down in here. Pound yen, that was the yesterday, the Japanese bank stepping in, dropping it down. It's gone nowhere. It's almost retraced the whole down move. And I showed you the Euro New Zealand. It's made a 1 hour sell signal. That's the place to get in right there with very little risk. Pound New Zealand's made a 1 hour sell signal. That was, if you didn't get in that, now you're trying to get in. New Zealand yen, that's the from yesterday. The Japanese bank stepping in, dropping it down. It's gone nowhere, nothing to do there. Euro yen, same thing, same picture, nothing to do there. Euro Aussies, 1 hour sell signal. There was your chance to get in. It just hadn't gone anywhere. So we're going to keep an eye on that. And low 65, 61. Yeah, nothing to do there yet, but that is an opportunity. If it takes, see, if you are in it, that's not your stop now. When you got in it, that was. Now this is your stop right now, that candle high. So you've been able to reduce risk. If you did get in on the high of that poke up that candle, you can now reduce risk as your stop's a little bit closer. But it just hasn't done anything yet. So that's all we're seeing for right now. So we're going to keep an eye out on the Pound Aussie, Euro Aussie. Let's see, where's it trading at right now? I might take this just a half a position just for training. education purposes. Is trading at 88. That high is one in 92.02. The pound Aussie. Looks like the euro odd's the better one. We'll keep an eye on that. Both of those actually. So we ain't got anything there yet. I also had the Euro CAD right was a 1 hour. Oh, it's just made a, it's just now made a 1 hour sell signal. So nothing to do on that either. Really, the Aussie dollar, if you wanted to get in, that's your stop. Not there now, that's your stop now. If you wanted to get in, so you'd be risking 86 basically. 35 pips. See, that's beyond my parameter. There has to be a pull down on here for me to get in. So I can't do nothing on that. But the Euro Aussie I can, because that's going to be the stop now, not that. Since that's made that, that's the stop. If it takes that out, it's going to take that one out. If it's going to take that high out, then it's going to take that one out too and go higher. So that would be the stop if you got in right now. Which doesn't look too bad. I'm doing half a position on that because the risk is really low. So, yep, the risk is low on it. That the high is 41. That's a little bit more. So I'm doing 5 because that's the high right there. 1 hour Euro CAD. It's still pushing up. So that's not done. Pound Aussie. And it looks like the see, if you're getting in now, the pound Aussie, that has to be your stop. The poke up needed to be a little bit higher. Actually, there's right there. So that high is 92.02. That high is 95. Actually, that could push up just a little bit higher up here before it went down. So just have to keep an eye on the pound Aussie. Euro Aussie. I'm keeping a watch on that one. $25. So that's a $23 risk there where I got in. That stops right here. If it takes that out, it's going to take that one out and take that one out. So that high is my stop. So well, it was 23 pip risk. It's a half a position, so it's basically about $12, $11.50, $12 risk. So I'm risking a Big Mac combo meal. Nothing much to do on anything else. Look at the see, the pound dollar is running up, so there's no chance to get, so there's nothing to do. No need to chase it because the daily range on it is 120.36, and that's 104. So it's almost at its daily range. So you don't want to be buying at the top, you want to be buying at the bottom, so we need a retrace. Somewhere back down into here, hopefully. And then it can turn up the rest of the day. Let's see, where is my... see, what else was there? Aussie dollar. See, it's trying to push up, but it was beyond my parameters. If I'd been up in here, I could have got in, but I wasn't up then. That's 3, 5, 6 hours ago. So that was at 2 o'clock in the morning my time. I was snoozing pretty good then. See if the pound yen is trying to push up too. And we'll see what the US dollar sits at 149. No, that's not right. We'll go back through here and look. Yeah, let's see. Is there anything else we can get in? May go euro long here. I've seen this set up before. That low is 37.3. And we're in the 50s, so that's almost about 18 pips. Yeah, let's try that. We'll go half a position. Because if it takes out that low right there, it's going down. Hoping it's going to take that high so I can move the stop up to break even if it takes out that high. So it's a very low risk trade. Low's 37. I got in at 54. That's a half a position. So that's $8.5 risk. So if I lose on both of these trades, it's just $20. I don't think that's going to kill anybody. But if I'm right, then I'm going to triple that. So we'll see. This is for training and education purposes only. You just trade at your own risk, like they always say, blah blah blah. Don't risk money you can't afford to lose. Pound Aussie. Yes, it's pushing up. Pushing up. Like the euro, it's trying to push up. Pound cats made a big old push up there. there's anything else moving right now. Dollar yen is still a little bit below 149, so the Japanese are not going to step in. Now, I hope everybody's doing well. If you got any questions or comments, please feel free. This is live streaming. This is my, let's see, I started last Wednesday, so it's been a week now. I've been doing live streaming. The only way you're going to get notified when I come on, which is if you hit the subscribe button, and then you'll have to hit the notify me button as well when I go live. So, and if you would too at the same time, just hit the like button. It don't take much to click that too. If you like it, of course. If you don't like it, you don't have to click on it. Only if I'm helping you in your trading and your learning. That's what this is about. It's not about getting Taylor Swift subscribers. Not into that. I don't subscribe to her. She don't subscribe to me. I'm okay with that. 'Cause I want people who want to learn and will be able to trade for a living, which I do. I have since 2007. I've not won the lottery. I've not been left money. I've created my own money by trading in Forex currencies. I started out in buying stocks and just couldn't do that. You had to have too much money. Penny stocks were too crazy. Stocks you had to monitor if any bad news came out, or especially if you've done options on stocks. If you just kill it, and then you weren't going to have an opportunity. You know, if it went up in your direction, you were fine. But if it didn't, your option was going to expire worthless, and you were in trouble. So it was too difficult to do that. Too difficult. So this is what we'll do here. The pound CAD is pushing up, right? Euro yen long is trying to push up. Pound CAD may be at the end of its run, but that 1 hour candle's got 34 minutes to go still. So anything can happen on that. There's the Euro Aussie. Pound Aussie. Okay, now it's made a new higher high, so nothing to do on that. Aussie dollars trying to make a push up, but not by much. Euro CAD 1 hour high. That's made a new high. But it's got 33 minutes to go. Nothing to do on that candle. We wait. Pound dollar made a push up. Can't do nothing on it till it goes in here. We could get in there with the low right there, but I think if it's going to pull back, it's going to pull back down into here. It has made a big move up to almost its daily range for the day. So it could go a little bit higher, but the risk is greater now. Oh, so looking at the Euro Yen when yep, the dollar yen is doing nothing. It's at 149 now. We'll see if that's going to push up. Let's see how that does. For those of you that don't know, I have in my YouTube channel, I trade from 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, I'm in the US, until about 10:30 or 11 Eastern time. And that's Monday through Thursday. And sometimes I come back on in the late afternoons Eastern time, or in the Asia session, to see if there's adjustments that need to be made. Maybe a possible trade has got to be put on, because my take profits are already and stop losses are already set, so I don't have to worry about those that get hit or they don't get hit. So that's what I like about that. Let's see. Is there anything else I'm moving? Doesn't look like it. Euro yen. Euro yen, is that in our favor? Just a little bit. Got in at 52. So I'm up just a couple pips, not much, but I got a small risk. $8.50. Excuse me, $8.50. That's a half a position. It's not a full position, because this is just for training and education purposes only, so you can see. Because I don't want you following my trades. I want you to be able to learn first, and then you can trade at your own discretion. I trade at half. I take half off. Well, this would be I have to take a full position off, because it's a half a position. It's a full position. Take half off on Euro yen at 40 pips, and then let the other ride. If it was a full position. So we need to see that take out the high of that candle. A pound Aussie, nothing to do. Euro CAD, nothing to do. Aussie dollar, nothing to do. Euro odd, I'm in that one, half a position. New Zealand, 1 hour, nothing to do. Euro New Zealand's baby, they got a 1 hour sale there. There was your poke up. If you was wanting to get in, that's your stop. If this continues down, then you're able to move your stop to the high of that candle and probably be at break even. If you would have took some off, could have. See if it got up there. 178.16, and it's been down to 57, 43.59. Yes, 50 pips on this one. Euro New Zealand. Half a position you take off is 50 pips. So you already took that off if you got in on a candle, and then your stop is now here at break even. So you don't have to worry about getting in a trade. You're in a trade. It's either going to work now or not. Hopefully, if you're short, it's going lower, and then you can keep moving your stop down. Pound yen, trying to make a push up. See, we went from the pivot. We should go up to here today, and I don't know how that's going to affect the the dollar yen. It's up close to 149 now, but it ain't. They're not going to do anything again until it gets over 150. So we need more. Euro CAD continuing up. That's good. So we'll see here. monitor these trades. Euro Aussie, Euro Yen. The New York session doesn't open for 57 more minutes, so a long ways to go on that. And for those of you who don't know, I'm live streaming. This is my first week. I started last Wednesday. It's now been a week. So if you'd hit the subscribe button, that way you can get notified, but you're going to have to hit the notify me button too. That way you'll get notified when I'm on live. Otherwise, you're going to be picking and choosing and trying to find it. And that can be frustrating, so it's easier just to hit the subscribe button and then hit the notify me button as well. Let's see what we got going on here. EuroCAD still pushing up. Looks like it's heading up to here. So it's got a little bit more to go. What's that high? 144.35. And I gotta keep an eye on the dollar yen too, because I'm gonna start adding more positions again. I've out all of my positions when it spiked down yesterday. See, I was sitting here watching that when that happened. So I had stops down there. Target profits at 300 on each position I had, which I had several, and it knocked them all out. So I was happy about that, because I told everybody, that the Bank of Japan was going to step in. I had said it was going to be a close on a daily basis above 150, but it went above 150. 150.16 was the high, and that's when they drove it down. So they were sending a message, so it looks like they're going to have to send another message as it's that dollar yen's trying to push back up there. But it probably won't be today, but that'll happen again. So I'm going to accumulate more short positions on the dollar yen, so that way when it happens again, set profit targets so I can load up on that. Yeah, that would have paid your mortgage yesterday if your mortgage payment's over $1,000. Just that move on the dollar yen yesterday paid your mortgage for the month. See, when you monitor all this stuff, because the Bank of Japanese, the last time it was at 150, they done exactly the same thing, drove it down. These prices determine their import and export pricing, so it's very important to the countries. If it gets out of hand, they have to step in. So if you're trading, you got to remember stuff like that. That's why you have to go to Forex Factory. You have to look at the news. You have to look at news that's coming out not from just U.S. but from the other countries, because it affects their countries just like it does here in the U.S. So you have to see that stuff like that's coming, like the New Zealand last night. They had imported news. There's the 1 hour candle of it. Anything tied to the New Zealand, that's the pound New Zealand, that's the 1 hour candle. That size is 100, just that one candle is 150 something pips, just that one candle. And the Euro New Zealand's was even bigger. It was almost 200. Is that right? No, 152. Yeah, it was 150, in the 150s. So you have to follow the news so you can know what's going on. There's the spike down in the New Zealand yen. That one was 88.61 at 150 something pip drop on the New Zealand yen. Now the dollar yen had 300 over 300 because that's the important one. That's the one they're trying to drive down. Pound yen, they had a big one that was over 300, 320 something, and now it's about retraced the whole thing, so it's close to where the limit was on that. Could be interesting on the pound yen, but it's not at where the dollar yen is. It's not there. There's the CAD yens. It was almost 200. Yep, that was almost 200, that candle. So if you were long CAD yen, you got crushed. There's the Aussie yen. If you were long that, you got crushed. That was 160. Aussie dollar trying to push up, couldn't get in that, the risk was too great. Euro yen trying to push up. Euro Aussie trying to go down. Euro yen trying to push up. But we needed to take out that high. That's what we need. Needed to take out that high. Because I'm up 10 pips right now. That's not enough. There'll be people that just say that. Yep, there's people that'll say that. So, dollar yen is just below 149. I don't think the Bank of Japan's going to step in, so there's nothing to do there. Yep, the euro yen, I'm up 14 pips now. You say, take it off, take it off. No. I have to follow the plan, and this plan has worked since 2007, so 16 years. So there's no reason to change it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. It's not broke. I don't win every trade. Yep, but don't win every trade. So that's why I have low risk trades. That's why. Euro yen. Oops. Over here. I'm up about 17 pips now. 16, 17. But I can't take it off now. I will move it though. When it goes up in the low 20s, I'll move the stop to break even. And that's because I know from past history that when it wipes out that 20 that it ran up, then the chances are that it's going lower. So this is kind of going sideways. It stayed within this candle from yesterday. So no questions or comments yet, huh? Aussie dollar running up. That's what you wanted if you got in there. Pound dollar pushing up high. That ran away. No really chance to get in. Can't do nothing on it. Euro yen, I'm up about 17 pips. It's got to go up in the 20s, which I don't think it's done. No, it hadn't. So it's basically got to take out that high at 76. So that's 8 more pips. When it does that, then it would have been in the 20s, and then I can move the stop loss. Actually, I might move it there. That would reduce the risk to $5.50. I'm at 8.5. The dilemma continues. So we're seeing, let's see, the Euro Aussie, nothing. Pound yen, yeah, I believe it's heading up to here for resistance. That's where the spike was yesterday. So, but the dollar yen is not up above 150, so that could take that out. See, it had already sold off some. Pound CAD, nothing to do there. It's made a big push up. Pound Aussie, same thing. Euro CAD, same thing, nothing to do. So it's a sit and wait. Euro yen, been up 18 pips is the most I've been up, so it's not in the 20s yet. And this candle ends in 15 minutes, so we're not going to do anything. We're going to sit and wait. We're going to sit and wait. Euro New Zealand, it's not took out the high of that candle. If you were going to short it, that was the place to short it with a low risk trade. It was actually 78.21. That high was 16, $5 risk plus the spread. That'd have been $9. $9 risk, and you've already taken off half your position, and you've moved your stop from there to break even right there. So now you're in a trade still. It's either going to continue down or it's going to come up and stop you up, so you don't have to worry about getting in another trade for a while. That's the greatness of the swing trading, as opposed to doing the day trading. You got to continue. If you take 8-10 pips and you get out, now you got to find another place to get in. Okay, now approaching 20 pips. I'm at 20 pips profit on the Euro yen. 21 pips profit. So if it gets up there to 24, 25, basically if it takes that high out, which is 76, been up to about 74, another 2-3 pips, then I can move my stop. I think I'll move it to the low of that candle. Reduce my risk stop. I'd lose $8.50 if I move the stop. When it takes that high out, it'll just be $5.50. And here it goes. It's trying to do it now. So I'm up almost 24 pips on the Euro yen long. We got got to keep an eye out on this. Hopefully it's going to push higher and not turn around after this candle and start selling off. They had 23 pips, almost 24. So we have to keep an eye on it. So that's looking pretty good. Been nice to have got that Aussie dollar, wouldn't it? If you didn't get that, you could have got that. Could even got that. That low is 63, and this would have been your stop if you got in there. 85, 63 even, 5, 15. Yep, $15 plus the spread, which has been about 2. So it'd been $17 if you'd done a full position, $17 risk. And now you're up. If you got in there, 42. So you've took off the 40 pips. You took off half of the position, and now you've moved your stop up to right up under under the high of this candle. So you'd make at least $16 on the second half. No, $8 on the second half. $8 on the second half. That's worst case. If it keeps going up, you're going to make more than that because you're going to keep moving your stop up. Of course, if this goes up to this yellow line right here, I'd want to take the other half of my position if it, pokes up in above it. Euro yen, it's got almost 8 minutes left in that candle. So I'd be checking those, hadn't I? Let's see. Yeah, about 8 minutes left. So we're going to see how that does, because it's getting too far from the high where it drove down. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. There's really nothing to do on everything else. Yeah, the US yen is below 149. They're not going to do anything. They could actually let the euro yen come back up into here, way up into here. So we got to keep an eye on all that stuff. Euro Aussie, CAD yen is trying to come down. See that yellow line right there? That is a support level, which it broke on the spike down, but it hasn't closed below it yet. But it's working on it. Euro New Zealand is still trying to go down. The US market doesn't open for another 37 minutes, so There's not going to be humongous moves. Euro CAD's about at the end of its limit up here. It could probably still go up a little bit higher. Like the pound CAD's about the end of its limit. But the Thursday, I think there's New Zealand news also, and then Friday is the big news here in the U.S. Non-farm payroll, the interest rate decision. Let's see, that's going to help decide on that. If it's a nothing, if it's what they expect, there will be a nothing. That 1 hour candle that it makes, it'll stay within that for the day, most of the day. So I may be on Friday morning for that, but then after that, I'm going to leave. Be done for the day, because I don't trade on Fridays. Yeah, that's why. How come I don't trade on Fridays? Because the big boys don't trade on Friday. The volume is drastically cut on Fridays. So that means they're gone. They're not there. Let's see. Let's think. That looks. A pound dollar still trying to push, ain't it? Euro yen. It's still not taking the high. It's got 5 minutes left in that candle, so we'll see. See what happens. I'm either going to move it to my stop to the low of that candle, or if it can push higher beyond that high, then I'll move it to break even. I won't have to worry about it, but that is a half a position. It's not a full position. Because that is not my setup. My setup is, let me find you. Let's see, this in yesterday. Yep, right here. This is what I look for right here. My signal to go long, the poke down into it, low risk, and then go. Now I took profit, half of it off somewhere up in here. Would have moved my stop, which would initially been there. It would have come to here, and then eventually to here. And when this happened, came down, it wouldn't have stopped me out. Got close, but then after that happened, then I move it up to here. And then after that push up, move it up to the low of that candle. You just have to follow it so you'd still be in it. Now I'd have probably been out up in here somewhere, probably somewhere right in there. And it did push up a little bit more, but now it's made a sell signal. And it still could take that out. If it takes out that high, it's going to take out that high. So it's going to go push a little bit higher. So the euro yen, still not up there yet. I've been up 23 pips on it is the high. So I was hoping it was going to go 24, 25, and then I could actually move the stop, and I still may, because this candle is less than 3 minutes to go. Euro CAD's making a 1 hour sell. Pound Aussie's making a 1 hour sell. Pound CAD's making a 1 hour sell. Pound dollar's not. There's pound CAD. Pound yen, good chance it's going to right here today. Aussie dollar's making a move up. New Zealand yen, it's kind of going sideways. Nothing really there to do either. The Euro yen is fighting me, ain't it? Our yen's fighting me. Gotta see how this candle does. But because it was up 23 pips, almost 24, I'm probably going to move this to the low of this candle. Reduce my risk from $8.50 loss to $5.50 loss. I gotta see what this does. I'm hoping it's coming up to here, or at least to the high of this candle. If it does that, I'll get my 40 pips, because I have to close the whole position out because it's a half a position I put on. So we got 30 minutes to the New York Open. Still a while to go. And yen's pushing higher up toward there. There's going to be resistance right there. May even be resistance right here, because it's almost at it. Yeah, on the Euro yen, if it starts wiping out this whole candle, then I may move it to break even at 52. It's 12, 13 pips away from that now. That would come down more into that candle. But I'm happy with the stop loss now, because it's just a $5.50 risk instead of $8.50 risk. So anybody can afford that stop loss. And if you're right, you're going to be, be able to go out but for dinner. Let's see, Euro Aussie, not really moving. There's not going to be a ton of movement until New York session. Alright, the pound Aussie's made the 1 hour sell signal. Pound CAD's made a 1 hour sell signal. Euro CAD's made a 1 hour sell signal. All them are looking pretty good for sales coming up. Euro CAD, pound odd, pound CAD, pound dollar. It's in a buy, but it's ran away. Nothing we can do. It's up at its daily range. We need a pullback. Pretty good size pullback, actually. And that probably won't happen today. Euro yen is toying with its but it's got 57 minutes to go on that candle, so long way to go. Long way to go. keep an eye on the dollar yen. It's still just a little below 149, so they're not going to step in again till it gets back above 150. I think that was just sending a signal, because that wasn't the big move down. That was just sending a message. That's all it was. So we'll see when they try to run it back up there again over 150. See if they're going to do the same thing, or if they're going to wait till a close above 150 on a daily basis. And then the big move, big drive down will come. That was just over 300 yesterday, which is big, but I've seen bigger, up to 700. Twice what that was. So we got to keep an eye on these. Again, trying to push back up. That's what we need. Need a push up into here. So again, I'm going to repeat for those who may have just come in. I started live streaming last Wednesday, so it's now, I've been on a week live streaming. You'll need to click the subscribe button, and then you'll also need to click the notify me button that notifies you when I come on live. So you have to do both of those. And if you don't mind clicking the like button while you're at it, if you like my if I'm helping you, that's the thing. If I'm helping you in your trading quest. If not, you don't have to click the like button. That's okay. As I've been doing this since 2007, so I was able to leave my job and make this a full-time business, trading. And that's kind of what I want for everybody else too. Same thing. But it took a while to get to that point. I actually started trading in 1998, 25 years ago. But I was doing stocks and penny stocks. Didn't do well in it. It was too crazy, too much to keep up with. Any kind of news or fake news or anything moved that stuff. And buying bigger stocks, was too expensive. And then you still had to watch the same thing. And I did options on stocks which were cheaper, but then you still had to watch it because of any kind of news that would come out. And if you're on the wrong position, went against you, and because of the option was based on time, good chances were that you were going to expire worthless. And you could see it coming. There wasn't much you could do about it, but roll it out to a new position. But then again, you got to do the same thing. If they want to drive it against you, then they can. And because the clock is ticking on the time, you're right back in the same dilemma. So I got away from that, and then I went to options. Then at first I went to futures, and that was too crazy, too whipsawy. And didn't really have a strategy for that either, because it was expensive to hold, especially overnight. A future, the margin was just pretty expensive, and then anything can happen too if you held it overnight. And then they did options on futures, which were less expensive, but it was the same thing as stocks. If news came out from any kind of news basically, and it would move the futures, and because you're based on time, again, if you're on the wrong side, you were in trouble, and chances were it's going to expire worthless. and then you had to go to a plan B again. So I got out of that and started looking around on the internet, and lo and behold, I come across currencies didn't know anything about. I knew countries had currencies, but I didn't know you could trade currencies, Forex currencies. And started reading, learning about it, and looking at charts, and lo and behold, I started finding stuff. And as they say, the rest is history, and I'm still trading it. I started doing the Forex currencies in 2004. So I'd gone 6 years trading and had blown 2 accounts. So until I came across these Forex currencies, it wasn't looking good for being able, I'd still be working now, probably working till I'm 70 or more. So I'm thankful I came across these. Started learning, started watching charts, looking at charts religiously. I mean religiously. People would look at, I look at charts, 2 or 3 hours a day. I was looking at charts 12, 14 hours a day. Wasn't doing anything else but looking at that, looking at patterns, looking at for anything that was going to give me any kind of indication where I wouldn't have to sit in front of the computer all day long. And I have found it. That's why I can just stay on here to 2-3 hours a day, and I've got the rest of the day to do whatever I want. Good feeling. And when you do swing trading, it's even a better feeling, because you got the trade on. As soon as you put it on, you put your first profit target, your stop loss, and you go to bed, go out to eat. You don't have to worry about anything, because you got the trade. That's on. But in day trading, especially people trade 1, 3, and 5 minute charts, they constantly got to find some place to get in. And so that means they got to sit in front of the computer all day long. So been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, didn't like it, and I moved on. And here I am, 16 years later. So something's working, wouldn't that tell you? Something's working. But this is for me. Everybody's trades is different, trading different. So you have to find your own path. Because this kind of trading may or may not suit you. If you're working, it will suit you. If you're day trading or trying to day trade and work, it's not going to suit you. Because chances are you're going to have to trade while you're working, and that could get you fired. So it's not worth the risk. So if you are working at a job, I would suggest swing trading. Now you're not going to catch all the trades, but there's plenty of currencies to look at as I show you. And this is, I don't even have the Euro USD on here, or the Euro Swiss, or the Odd Swiss, or the Odd CAD, or New Zealand CAD, New Zealand Swiss, or the Pound Swiss. I don't have any of those on here. CAD Swiss, don't have that. So this is plenty. This is all I'm looking at. These are for the most part movers. The only one that's really not is the Aussie dollar, and the New Zealand yen has a tendency to not really move a whole lot either. It takes it a while, as I can show you. Besides that, see it. This is an hour chart, but that's over a 2-day period. And then that was yesterday's spike down, but then here we are again another day later, and we've not gone anywhere. Plus the daily range for this is not huge, just like the Aussie dollar. It's not huge. But when it's in a downtrend, it does move. Or an uptrend, it does move. So the euro yen, we got 47 minutes. We got 17 minutes, less than 17 minutes for the New York session open. Then we'll have movement. Yep. So for those of you that don't know, I'm on live stream. Started last Wednesday, so it's been a week now. I've been on live streaming. You'll have to click the subscribe button, and you'll also have to click on the notify me button after you hit subscribe, and that way it lets you know that I'm on live stream when I do come on. So got to keep the euro yen is euro Aussie. Pound dollar is still nothing to do here. We gotta wait for a pullback. It's made its daily range almost, so it could still go a little bit higher, but not a whole lot. Euro CAD has made a 1 hour sell signal. Pound Aussie's made a 1 hour sell signal. Pound CAD has made a 1 hour sell signal, but nothing to do on them yet. It's not hitting my setup. The pound yen, I think by sometime today it's going to hit right there. Euro New Zealand's got a 1 hour sell. That was from last night, the New Zealand news. It has stayed within that 1 hour candle so far. Pound New Zealand, same thing. It's made a 1 hour sell. That was the news from last night on New Zealand. Euro yen, that's the dollar yen from yesterday. If anybody didn't see that and don't know why that candle showed up, the Bank of Japan stepped in when the dollar yen got above 150. I thought they weren't going to step in until it was a daily close above 150, but when it went to 150.16 yesterday, they came in and drove it down over 300 pips. On the euro yen, it was 270 almost on that one candle, and the pound yen was over 300. And I've been telling everybody, if you were long the dollar yen, I've been saying it for about a month and a half, because I was in the short positions expecting it to go down. I had shorted in the 147s and the 148s and the 149s, and it would win the 150s up in the 150s. I would have sold it too, expecting it to come down. So that drive down yesterday on the pound yen more than paid for the mortgage payment on a house for somebody, even if it was $2,000 monthly payment house note, which some are now. Just that one trade, expecting that was going to happen, and that was just to send a message. That wasn't the real move. These real moves can go 600-700 pips in 1 or 2 candles. So that was just sending a message, was all that is. Hey, we're not going to tolerate it above that. We're going to move it down. But now it's back up to where it was, at least on the pound yen. But the dollar yen isn't. It's just back up hovering around 149, so it's got a little ways to go. So that means this pound yen could move up into here, and nothing would happen on here. It's mostly based on the dollar yen. So we're going to look at the trades. Euro yen, euro Aussie. Euro yen is at the low of this candle now. It did have an $8.50 risk. It's now a $5.50 risk, so that's the most I can lose, $5.50. It's been up almost 24 pips from where I got in, but my target's 40, so I can't take that. Now this is a half position, so I have to take the whole position off. If it was a full position, I'd take half the position off there at 40 and then move the stop to break even, and I don't have to find another trade. So hopefully, but this isn't my normal setup. Let me show you my normal setup. That's my normal setup. That's what I look for. My signal, the drop down, low risk trade. See, this would have been 75.40. That low was 75.47. 7 pips plus 4 on the spread, $11 risk for a full position, and you see what happened. Now I would have been out half of the position up in here somewhere at 50 pips, but then I'd be moving my stop, and it actually would be up in, actually would have got it in here. When this happened, I'd have got it, and that's gone up a little bit higher, but this is where I would have been out up in here, the rest of the position. So that would have been almost $200 for that one move. And that's just on the Euro New Zealand. I said I'm in Euro Yens for training, education purposes. I don't mind losing $5.50 for people to learn. To me, it's worth it. But that's not my normal trade. I just seen this opportunity to get in, to have a place to stop. But see, this has really gone nowhere. And Euro Aussie, that would be your opportunity to get short. 1 hour sale shows up. There's your poke up. The risk would have been that high 66.42. That high is 41. Been $1 risk plus 3 on the spread. You'd risk $4. You would have already took off half your position. You're still in the position, and you moved your stop. If you got in there, your stop was right there. After this move down, you've moved your stop to break even, or even to the high of this candle right here, and it's going to make a little money. And that's just on one contract. If you do more than that, then it all doubles. If you do 3, it triples. So, but you don't have to take it off. I just take it off from past experience. I know to take it off at different ones. Not all of these are the same. New Zealand yen, the Aussie dollar, and odd yen are different because their ranges aren't as big as some of these others, so you have to take it off a little bit sooner. But it's the same scenario. We got less than 9 minutes for the New York Open. We should have some action. Pound CAD is making a 1 hour sale. Nothing to do on that. Still got time. Pound Aussie 1 hour sell. Pound CAD making a 1 hour sell. Nothing to do on those yet. The candle has to finish, and it's got 38 minutes. So nothing to do on that. On Pound CAD. The Euro CAD's got a 1 hour sell. So, anybody got any questions or comments? Feel free, good or bad. It's all about learning, so that's what's important. Teaching, so people can trade and possibly be able to trade from home for a living, like I do. So the Euro New Zealand. If you wanted to get into that, you couldn't have now. It's gone down. But that was your low risk trade, and you probably took off half the position on if you got in there on that poke down right there. And now you've moved it to break even, and you've already got trade. Don't have to hunt for nothing, at least on that currency. And you're going to make money for the day no matter what happens. You've already made money, and they're going to either stay where you're at, or you're going to make more money. If the trade is right, it won't come out and stop you out. It'll continue down. If it's wrong, it's going to come stop you out. It's going to take out that high and go higher. It's just that simple. Pound CAD, nothing to do. Pound Aussie, Aussie yen, just gone sideways like the rest of them. So less than 7 minutes, New York session be open, and we'll be getting some movement. So we'll see what's going on here. I need to check those videos and make sure. I think that they're there. So monitor that one still, and this one still. Aussie dollar was making a push up. See, there's the buy. If you was in here later, but you watch the videos, the recording, there's the buy, the poke down. You done took off half the position. You moved your stop up. If you got in there, it was an issue there. If you got in here, now your stop's right there. So if you got in here, you moved it to there. After the push up, now you've got it up to here, and so you got half the position off. Now you can take off a third, an eighth, a fourth, a half, however you feel comfortable with. You don't have to do a half. That's just what I know from experience. I print off these charts every day, every single day, and I write up, if I have a trade, I write up why I got in it, where the stop was going to be, that first profit target. Write all that stuff on the sheet, so that way I can go back and look at it in the notebook. That's what I study on the weekends, and it doesn't take long. A couple hours, I'm done. Got the rest to do whatever I want, and sometimes do it on Friday night. Stay up a little bit later and get that done, and then I got Saturday and Sunday to do whatever. Aussie. See, I think CAD yen. See, there was its Japan yesterday's, and now it's coming down. See, it drove it down below that support line, but it didn't close below it. Still hasn't closed, but it's really close to it, closing below it. And the dollar yen is still up around 149, so that they're not going to step in until it hits that 150s. It's got to be in the 150s. So I'm going to go refresh my coffee real quick before the New York session opens, which is in 4 minutes. If you don't mind, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And to refresh my coffee. So we'll see here. Put my eyeballs on here. yen, euro Aussie. It's trying to come down. And in about less than 1 minute, the New York session will open. Euro CAD, got a 1 hour sell. Pound Aussie, 1 hour sell. Pound CAD's making a 1 hour sell, but it's got 30 minutes for that candle. Can't do nothing on it. Can't do nothing on it. Pound dollar is almost at its daily range. I need a retracement to get into that. Nothing to do on the New Zealand yen. Euro New Zealand's in a sell. Pound New Zealand's in a 1 hour sell. Pound yen, it may push up to here. That's resistance. Could sell off first, come down, get more buyers, and then make the push up to the resistance there. But that is resistance too. That's where the Bank of Japan stepped in. But because the U.S. Dollar yen is hovering around 149 and not 150, that this could actually push up. The pound yen could actually push up into here. Aussie yen doing nothing. CAD yen doing nothing. Aussie dollars made a push up on a buy. There's your poke down opportunity to get in, and now you're in it. And the fun is you're just moving stops. So we got to keep an eye on these. I'm in the Euro Aussie in half a position, $8 risk. That's the most I can lose is $8 if I'm wrong. And I'm in the Euro Yen, half a position, and the most I can lose on it is $5.50. So the most I can lose for the day on those two trades is $14 combined. The New York session's open now. And the pound dollar's trying to pull back some, but it's got a ways to go. So that's probably not going to happen today. Probably going to be doing the Asian session or Europe tonight for me, because I'm in the US while I'm sleeping. Yep, moving a little bit, not a whole lot. So we'll see how this goes. It's Wednesday. There's news tomorrow on the New Zealand dollar, just like there was last night. Big news. And then Friday here in the US we have the non-farm payroll. That's a big mover sometimes. But it makes a big 1 hour candle from the report for the next hour till the market open, and it basically stays within that candle unless the news is just way off. But if it's pretty much in line normal, then it's pretty much stays within that, so there's no reason to trade. Plus I don't trade on Fridays because the big boys are gone, the ones that make the money. And you ask, how do I know that? Look at the volume on stocks, futures, options. It drops off drastically. Why is that? Only reason is because them guys ain't there. Off to the Hamptons for the weekend. Why the average Joe has to struggle and trade on Friday, and they let them just battle it out and beat their heads in. So who would you rather follow? The ones that's in the know that makes all the money. If they're out there on Friday, there's no reason for you to be there on Friday. And you may say, well, I wasn't able to make enough to pay my bills Monday. through Thursday. If that's the case, you probably don't need to be trading anyway. Just try to find something that you can trade if you're working and you need to work. Swing trading is the best way to go, because you don't have to follow it, stay in front of it all day long like you do day trading. And try to find trades, trying to make enough money to pay the bills. I don't have a set amount to try to make every day. I let the trades tell me what I can make and what I can't make, because I don't get every winning trade. If you find somebody that believes that, like on the YouTubers, look on there at their number of subscribers. You'll see where there's anywhere from 5,000, 10,000, hundreds of thousands. But then you look at the views every day when they come and trade every day, and it's back around 100, maybe 200. Okay, so what happened to all those subscribers? So yeah, you want somebody who's going to be consistent and is actually trading. If they spend more time entertaining and trying to get you to hit the subscribe and like button than trading, then I would strongly advise you leave that room, look for another one. And because you're gonna, if you're looking for action, constant action during the daytime every day, hunt for these 1 and 3 and 5 minute chart guys, because they're out there, but I don't know if they're trading, because the ones I've seen try to do entertain. They want subscribers, so they try to entertain you, keep you tied to them. But it's either about you want to be entertained or you want to trade, make money, and be able to retire. I'm not a big entertainer. I'm not an actor. I'm not, I'm a teacher. So I mean, I don't mind talking and cutting up and all that stuff, don't get me wrong. But my main focus for doing this is for being able to teach people, and where they can learn, if they want to learn this strategy, and if they want to swing trade. If they're still working, that's fine. I'm on here to help, not on here to get Taylor Swift subscribe numbers. So it's up to each individual person what they want. If they want to be entertained and try to make 50 trades a day because they got to make so much money, then hey, this is not for you. This room is not for you. And you won't hurt my feelings by leaving, because I want people who want to learn how to trade, that don't have to be entertained. Because I'm not trying to get subscribers to get paid that little measly money by YouTube. That's not my purpose. Won't ever be my purpose. But others on YouTube, it is. We'll keep an eye on this one. Euro Aussie. Well, it's not really any movement. And the New York session is open. Been open for 7 minutes. Huh. Hey, the dollar. Let's see what the US dollar is. Still around 149, a little bit below it. So the Bank of Japan is not going to step in until there's another move up. Now, I will tell you, sometime this week or the first part of next week, there's going to be a big move on the stock market. Or it could be for the whole week. Could be. So let me see. There's nothing to do on these things. EuroCAD we looked at. It's made a 1 hour sell signal. If you want to get in that, you could, but I don't think it's done to the upside. CAD yen, nothing to do. It's trying to close below that support line. Odd yen, nothing to do. Pound Aussie's got a 1 hour sell. Same thing. If you wanted to take that short, you could. But it may not be done to the upside just yet. Pound CAD is making a 1 hour sell signal, but it's got 22 minutes, so nothing to do on that one. Pound yen should at some point add up into here, and maybe into here. but it's not moving slowly. And again, Euro New Zealand and a 1 hour sell, that's working. Pound New Zealand in a 1 hour sell, and it's not moving just yet. I mean, there's your low risk trades. If you wanted to get in, that would be your stop, that high. But again, this may not be done yet to the upside. New Zealand yen doing nothing. Euro yen coming down a little bit. Euro Aussie's coming down. So we have to keep an eye on those. Have to keep an eye on them. Yeah, I just want to make sure that dollar yen doesn't start to blast off to the upside, even though it's got over 100 to go, which is not going to happen today. But we do have to keep an eye on it. Do 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 do. Oh. Oh, 5. They've only gone 17 pips as far as it's gone down on my Euro Aussie, so that's not enough to move the stop to break even. And the Euro yen is trying to come down. It's got 20 minutes left in that candle. But my stop is at the low of that candle. It's just a $5.50 risk anyway, so I'm okay with that. Hear any money either. Do 15 Euro New Zealand. Nope, still going down. Not a lot of movement. Not a lot of movement. The pound Aussie is going higher still. Nothing to do on it. It's got less than 20 minutes on that candle. You have to wait till the candle closes. CAD yen is trying to close below that support. Euro CAD's got a 1 hour sell signal. Aussie is pulling back some. Pound dollar pulled back a little bit. Euro yen, Euro odd. Oh, hang on just a second. I'm gonna be right back. Gotta take care of the dog. Take care of the dog. Let her in. Okay, I'm back. I'm sure nothing ran away without me the way it's been moving. So we'd like to see what the stock market's doing today. Let me check that. Let's see, the Dow, the S&P, everything's up except for the Russell. Crude oil's down, gold's down, silver's down. The stock market is up. Interesting, very interesting. So, for those of you, I'll repeat, for those of you that don't know or first time here, or you just happen to find me by accident, I started live streaming last week, so I've been on a week. Last Wednesday's when I started. To be able to know when I'm on, you'll have to click the subscribe button, and then you'll also have to hit the notify me button, and then it'll notify you when I come on live. And I do Forex swing trading is what I do, which is good for people who work. If you're wanting to do day trading and you're working, I'd advise against it. But swing trading, you can trade while you're working, because it's not going to affect your job. You don't have to monitor it as much as peek at it, every couple of hours. As opposed to day trading, you got to constantly look at your phone or your laptop at work, and that could get you fired. Hate for that to happen, but it could. Euro Aussie is trying to push down. Euro Yen is pushing down. It's got less than 14 minutes left in this candle. I'm feeling pretty good after yesterday. That's what happened yesterday. For those of you who don't know, the Bank of Japan stepped in when the price went above 150 on the dollar yen. I was looking for a daily close above it, but they didn't wait for that. They waited for it got above 150, and then they spiked it down. But that's just the send the message move. That's all that is. That's not the real move, because it's already not far back up. It's at one trade around 149, so it's not far from where they drove it down. So I've been in that dollar yen short for about a month, over a month, close to a month and a half actually. Because I shorted in the 147s. I shorted, and all these are high, 147.50 and up toward 147.90s. And I shorted in the 148s, same thing, 148.50s, 148.90s. And I shorted in the 149s, the 149.50s and the 149.90s. And yesterday it gave me a profit on every single one of them. And that one spiked down, which I had profit target set for 300 pips on all of them. And it made over $2,000 that one trade, because I knew it was coming. Just didn't know when. I knew it was coming, because past history they've done the same thing. So I was just wrong on the expecting it to be a daily close. But hey, I don't care. As long as they done it, went ahead and done it, I don't care when they do it. I just knew it was coming. And hopefully you guys weren't long on the dollar yen when that happened, because that over 300 pips. So I'm doing a euro yen trade, long for just trade, because it's only a $5.50 risk. for training purposes, but that's not my normal setup. I just seen this opportunity, small risk, and took it. But this is my trade setup. What did I look for all the time? Buy a signal, but you never know when that's going to show up. And then the poke down to make the low risk trade, and then you see what happens. Now that doesn't work all the time. Let me find you one that didn't happen. La 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 la. Nope, that's not it. I'm not sure if I can find you one here without, because this thing, something about the scrolling it doesn't like. Yep, it's too dragging too much. That was a Euro New Zealand. Was there one on the pound New Zealand from yesterday? But that worked though. Yeah, see, it done the same thing. That opportunity. If you missed it, another opportunity. I need to find one that failed. I need to find one that failed. Finding one that failed. I think. Well, I thought it was on the pound New Zealand. I might have been wrong. Yeah, maybe it wasn't the pound New Zealand. Oh goodness, where would that have been at? Was it pound CAD? I know that made a push up. I know because I showed it the other day. It wasn't that, because that was one that had too many. Yeah, it may not have been the pound CAD either. Rats. Well, sorry about that. Been trying to find it, but no, I wasn't that one either. That was pretty recent too. There's a pound Aussie. No, it wasn't that one either. Let me go get the dog. She's wanting in.
I got it, honey.
Yeah, my wife's taking care of it. Say, oh, your wife's at home? Yeah, my wife is retired too. I'm 64 and she's 62. And we're both retired. Not taking Social Security yet. I'm taking mine at full retirement at 66 and 8 months. And she is too. So we both live off of my trading. And we're able to do whatever we want, go to the beach whenever we want, go to the mountains whenever we want. I'll say my parents are 12 hours away from us. Kind of hard to see that whenever you want just because of the drive. Good drive for that. My kids are all spread out. I have to do the same thing periodically. Drive a good distance, but we can wake up in the morning and say, hey, let's see if the kids want us to come see them. It's a good feeling. Oh, it's a good feeling. That's why please try to find somebody. I mean, I'm not entertaining. That's what you're looking for. I'm sorry. I'm more about trading. And I want people who want to be able to retire early, do this for a living, and trade, find their path. If you got to be entertained, This is not for you. Go find YouTubers. They're out there, plenty of them. But good luck with that. Because from what I've seen, there's hardly any out there that's making money. They're all trying to get subscribers and get paid that way, where they got a YouTube check coming in or advertising check coming in, because they got so many subscribers and likes. Let's see, Euro Yen, Euro Odd. Well, none of them are, nothing's moving, which is surprising. That candle's got less than 6 minutes. Nothing to do on it. Nothing to do on the pound odd. Nothing to do on the Euro CAD. Aussie dollar is pulling back. Pound dollar pulling back. That was close to the daily range anyway. Right there. Had a little bit more to go up. Euro New Zealand pulling down. New Zealand is going higher, which I thought that it would be. Nothing to do on that. So you sit on your hands. You sit on your hands. Pound yen pulling back. But looks like I may have a $5.50 loss here. If these little losses, 5.5, 8.5, 11, 13, if you had a bunch of them in a row, if that bothers you, I would suggest you're not ready to trade yet. You're not ready to trade yet. Because as you see, when you can have 5 or 6 in a row, or maybe even 10 in a row of those little losses, but then you have this. You think that more than makes up for it? By far. That one trade, why wipe out the 10 losses that you have and still make you profitable? That's why you take them. That's why you take them, because of this. If it's right, that's what's going to happen. If it's wrong, you're going to have them little measly little loss. Like for here, if you got in there with that $5 risk and it took that out, you're wrong. You lost $5. But not everybody wants to trade that way, that's what makes the world go round. If we were all doing the same thing, looked the same way, doing the same thing, it'd be a boring world. So there's got to be different things for different people. Less than 3 minutes to 10 o'clock. Pound dollar pulling back. Euro yen is probably going to stop me out. Getting close. About 5-6 pips away. So that's probably going to happen. And another thing I would suggest, look at there's a lot of these now that's doing the trades that they've had, either for the day or for the week or the month or the year. Now you have to ask yourself, how many pips did they get? They got 8 pips. That's a winner. They can put that in their Excel sheet or whatever they use. I don't do 8-10 pips. I don't. You see what I do. I'm going for the lot bigger ones. If it works, it's going to work and I'm going to get it. If it doesn't, I get stopped out with a menial loss. But once they get out of the trade with their 8 or 10 pips, then they got to look for another one. Because I have a losing percentage as far as wins and losses. But the money I make is what makes the difference. It ain't about the wins and the losses, because you have to find out how many pips did you get when you won. When you lost, how many pips did you lose? And if they are looking at 8 to 10 pips every trade, but then their losers are in the 20s and 30s, that's lopsided. You don't want that. Mine is exactly the opposite. I look for low risk trades only. If they're there, they're there. If they're not, I don't trade. I look and go on. And I don't have to make money that day. I just wait the next day for the trade. And if you're in a position where you have to trade every single day, I would suggest stop trading. But if you're willing to do swing trading where you can still work, then I would suggest that. But if you're in a position where you have to make money every single day, you're in the wrong profession. That means you're not ready yet. That's why, I don't know if most of you know this, but 95% of people who trade lose, the other 5% win. I want to be in the 5%, and I'm in the 5%. I don't make Warren Buffett money. I don't make Bill Gates money. But I make money to pay our bills, to have a good lifestyle, and to do it from home. Wife can be at home. And I think that's what it's all about, ain't it? Last time I checked it was. But the way the world is now, maybe that's changed. And usually they're wrong. So just like the average Joe, 95% are wrong. And they're trading. So just evaluate those YouTubers. Look at those numbers. I mean, like an Excel sheet, which a lot of them I see use. You can manipulate those. You make them things look any way you want to, just like they do on these the companies. They can make that earnings look any way they want to. They're driven by shareholders. And I've even seen where traders have had trades on there and they've showed it in, down in here somewhere where they had it, and then you go in the next day and they may have had a loss and it was a little bit bigger, and then they show on here that it was smaller, and wins the same way. Win was a little bit smaller, come back the next day as a little bit bigger, or there were different numbers. That can be manipulated. Don't pay no attention to that crap. You pay attention to, if you follow them every day, keep up with it too yourself. Write it down if you have to. If they say where they got in, where they got out, what the number was, you check it the next day and the next day and the next day and see if they're legit. Because they could be using demo accounts with that money in there and they've not lost anything or made anything because they're dependent upon the YouTube money, the check from YouTube, and the advertisement money. Just like these ones you on here would see these music, you can look these up. These people that supposedly are listening to this song for the very first time, and then their reaction to it, and they talk about it. But I mean, how many of them's on it? You just think there's probably thousands of them on there now. I'm like, seriously? Really? They've never heard this song? I mean, there's songs that I've never heard, especially nowadays, the new music, which sucks. I'm more from the late 60s, 70s, and early 80s, when music was really music. I mean, it sticks with, because you listen to it now and it's 40 and some of them 50 years old, and they still sound good. I mean, the music out now, you're going to forget about it in a couple of years because there's no substance to them. I'm just trying to pull back. Okay. Yep, that just stopped me out. So that was a $5.50 loss. So you seen live, I had a loss. $5.50. But that was for training purposes only, though. So I'm okay with willing to risk $5.50, which was originally was $8.50. So I actually made $3 because I reduced my risk because I seen what was happening. When that goes up 24, 25 pips, I usually move it to break even, but I wanted to give that just a little bit more room. I could have moved it to break even and wouldn't lost anything. But $5.50 for training and education purposes is worth it, but that's not my normal setup, stuff like that, or stuff like this. That's my normal setup I look for right there. I have to have my sell signal. It don't show up on every candle. I have to have that. And then I have to have this follow through. to make it a low risk trade. And I may or may not get stopped out, but risking $5, $8 is worth it to get that. At least I think so. Not everybody will. They go, well, you could have took 8 to 10 pips in there and it'd been okay. I go, really? 10 pips is okay when I can get this? To each his own, though. That's how it's, like I said, that's what makes the world go around. But that's not my style. Might be somebody else's, but it's not mine. But then once they get out with 8 or 10 pips, now they got to try to figure out another spot to get in, and the risk becomes greater. So I don't always find those. Sometimes they've moved on, like this one. There it is. No retracement. It ran away. Nothing I can do about it. Move to something else. Move to something else. Move to something else. Now the Japanese yen is selling off too. Pound CAD. They even moved to something else. Nothing to do. It's made a 1 hour sell signal. A pound CAD, but I mean, you could get in that, but it could strike down here. But I need the little push up to reduce the risk, and then the drive down. Then I can move my stop from there to there, wherever that poke up was in there. If it does it, it could just drive down. But you don't know. You don't have a crystal ball, so there's no way of knowing. The charts will tell you what you need to do or not do. Yen, nothing. See, a lot of these are nothing. So they all got the Japanese Bank of Japan stepped in. Euro CAD, same thing, 1 hour sell signal, but the setup is not there. I mean, it could just drive on down. Yeah, you miss it. Aussie dollar is now coming back. So there's not really anything to do on any of these. Not yet. You see the euro yen stop me out. So I got to keep an eye on the dollar yen, make sure it's not. But the way that everything's moving, I don't think it's gonna. See, now it's above 149. So that means the dollar is getting stronger. So that should mean the stock market is going down. Let me refresh. Well, let's see, the S&P's up, the Nasdaq up, the Dow's down, but both the S&P and Nasdaq are up just a little bit. But the Dow's down, so there's mixed. Russell's down, crude oil is down, gold is down. So going through my. Today is National Taco Day. I thought that was yesterday. Maybe that was just an advertisement. Don't need that. Need that. Deleting a bunch of emails. Oh, I gotta call. My mom's birthday's coming up, and I've sent her something. So I need to let her know that it's on its way before I forget about it. And she doesn't know where it's coming from. So I'm gonna have to step out for a minute and make a phone call. I hate to do that to y'all, but I have to. I should have done it last night and I didn't. So I'll be right back. It won't take me just a second. I'm just going to let her know. I sent her something for her birthday. Be right back. I'm sure I'm not going to miss anything.
Yeah, I'm beginning to feel that way too. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I bet. Oh yeah. I'm glad she's doing better. That's good. We'll still keep praying for her to move forward. Yeah, oh yeah, I bet. Huh, gosh. Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, a couple days. All right, and don't forget about the package coming from Mom from Amazon. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Love you, Dad. All right. Bye. And let him know that Mom's closing the study. Tell him. Oh, tell him. Hey. I gotta go back to college. Oh, she's feeling a lot better. She wanted to go to the Bills.
You gotta go to the phone?
No, she
Oh.
wanted today. They said she wanted to go to the Bills. Yesterday, the new cards and I said, so she's getting ready. I said, yeah, you let them pay them pretty good. You want to go shopping.
She didn't have. How much she spent?
Oh, no, Christian's called him. And Tyler Steve. I don't know who that is. But I got a scheduled appointments. And I'm gonna get nervous about that strike.
Just wait until you.
I mean, it's supposedly supposed to be to reduce the bulging disc.
And you have it. I saw it on the X-ray. So it's your body. Do what you need to do.
I feel pretty good, but I know that can come back at any time. Side nerve, and that
And then you might.
it took a long time to get rid of that. Okay, I'm gonna close it out over here.
Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna close the room down because I'm done for the day. Not really no movement or anything going on, which is kind of surprising. But again, one last time I go over, I'm doing live streaming now. I've done it for a week. Started last Wednesday, so I've been live streaming for a week. If you want to be notified, you need to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then you also got to click on the notify me button, so that way it'll notify you when I'm on live streaming. So I hope everybody has the rest of a good day. I will do a recording of this, which I am doing a recording, and I have it posted in a couple of hours. So I hope everybody has a good rest of the day. If you're in trades, protect them. Hopefully you've taken some profit off, and use good money management. Move your stops, whether it's a buy or sell. And if you have any questions or comments, you're welcome to go on my YouTube channel and put those in there. I'm open to those, good or bad, doesn't matter. Because this is all about training and learning and teaching. So we'll plan on seeing you guys tomorrow. And I hope everybody has a good night or day, depending on where you live at.